How's it going, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to issue my deepest sympathies and condolences to the family of our good friend Robert Hummel, aka Wolf, who you may have seen sporadically in some of my most recent shorts and videos. Sometimes you'll hear him in the background. He's the fella I gave a pair of sneakers to. Unfortunately, he passed yesterday. He texted me Saturday, saying that he was in the hospital, and I responded. But unfortunately, he had suffered a massive heart attack, and his heart just gave out and stopped. One of my neighbors here who knew him very well came, knocked on my door, and all of us by foot went to the hospital, which is not even a half a mile away from here. We walked there, and I had an opportunity to see him. And it was rough because this is now the second death in so many weeks that I've actually been involved with. The first one obviously was my dad. And now this happened right here. I mean, I just had him on my patio not that long ago, prior to my father passing away. We were sitting there talking all sorts of smack and whatever, drinking beer, eating food like we always did. He was a really nice, down-to-earth, humble guy. I know he had a bit of a rough background like we all do. Sometimes in life we go through things that we didn't expect or want to have put on our laps. Believe me, I understand that better than most people do. But getting to know him the way I did, he was just a generally really nice, kind, humble guy. So rest in peace, my good friend, and see you in another world, I guess. So with that being said, if you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. The channel continues to grow because of all of you. Smash that like button, comment in the comments section below, and hit the bell to receive notifications. Also, I have an eBay store called the Carolina Collector 001, where many of you have really showed up. This is from this weekend. These are my most recent orders. I'm not going to bother to make it short now that I'm showing this to you. And I actually have 2 more orders I need to process, but I want to get this video out of the way before I head out to drop these off at the post office. So thank you so much, everybody across the board. All of you really showed up. So click the link in the description box below. I have that link in every single video and short that I upload here on YouTube. So let's get right into this. This box that you're looking at right here, minus my personal information. This is a box of armalopes. All of you, especially if you're customers of mine, and I think I've talked about it loosely, know that I use these to ship off my sports cards from eBay. I ordered 200 of them, right? Just like that. And lo and behold, they were dropped off at our little mailbox house, our little mail house that we have outside. Clearly, we had a substitute driver, because normally my regular guy that comes here would drop packages off right at my front door. And that's pretty much replete throughout, the neighborhood here, where he would literally take the time to drop off everybody's packages. That hasn't happened in the past couple days. As a matter of fact, my particular box was sitting out there with about a dozen or so other boxes. But it gets even better, because I get to call out the post office directly in this video, because as you know, if you're eBay customers of mine, once again, you'll know that I use these tamper-proof labels to try to at least prevent or slow down any type of card swapping. It used to happen, and I've got it down to a slow crawl. If not, it's been completely eliminated from my personal eBay sales. But, I'm running low, and I try to buy them in bulk if I can. So with that being said, I want to show you another example of how the post office has completely botched one of my personal orders. So not only did the substitute delivery driver drop off that box over there where it doesn't belong, where it should have been delivered to my front door, or at least dropped off on my patio table like my regular guy did. This is the order of tamper-proof labels. I've been wanting to try out different labels to see if I can save myself some money. And if you pause, you're going to see when they were shipped. Or at least when they were expected to be delivered. So the original tracking number was provided Wednesday, June 25th. And you can see how it's traveled, right? So it left its location or departed from its location in Bellbrook, Ohio. Arriving on time, in transit to the next facility. Then we get to this page. It's now Monday, June 30th. In transit to the next facility. It is now July 7th. Monday, July 7th. It hasn't moved. This order was refunded to me. Because unfortunately, and I don't do this that often because as a seller, I've had it happen a couple times where even one of my sports cards out of that whole pile will arrive 3 weeks late because of the incompetence of the post office, not just here in North Carolina, but throughout our twisted, psychotic, lunatic republic that we live in. And I hope Trump privatizes these people because of their sheer incompetence. And I've said this allegedly, in my opinion. I believe that this is a silent protest against him. But who am I? With that being said, I had no choice but to file a missing parcel claim through eBay because these are all the labels I have left. Right here, this one sheet. Now, I still can ship out my orders without those, but without that kind of protection on my sports cards, anybody can switch out cards and claim that they were dented or dinged or scratched or scuffed or have print lines, etc., etc. And I've learned how to quash or quell that sort of thing. So now I'm stuck without labels. I had to order another set of labels from another seller, and they haven't even moved yet. And it's hurting me, you know, and I'm sure many of you who have been watching this channel who also sell various goods and services through eBay or what have you are also dealing with the nonsense of the post office. I mean, how difficult is it to lift up a little box like this? Oop, don't want to dox my customers. To lift up a little box like this. Or even a box where there's nothing more than a baseball hat in it. How heavy is it? How hard is it? So, I'm not, you know, you ladies and gentlemen who are customers of mine are not the only ones dealing with this. I, as an eBay seller who depend on the post office to get supplies so that I can provide you with the sports cards that you want or various other items, I'm getting bent over too. I'm getting hosed by the post office just like everybody else is. It's disgusting. And now, lately, I've been seeing videos pop up sporadically about the post office encouraging their workers to quit. How lovely is that? So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait and see what goes on with this order. You know, I didn't leave the seller a negative feedback or anything like that because, like I said, I've experienced this a couple times where people get impatient. But, I mean, it's over 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks since my order went in. And, you know, now we're talking about the beginning of July. This thing should have been here by now. So I didn't leave a negative feedback. I accepted the refund, and then I moved that money over to another seller to see, hopefully, if I can get my tamper-proof labels from this individual. We'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, right now, it's just a toss-up at the post office. It's like a blind man throwing darts at a dartboard in a bar somewhere. Wherever the dart lands is where it's going to end up. I mean, this is just a very sad situation, and I have no shame in calling out the post office with its incompetence. It's clearly incompetence. Many of you have gone through this through me as customers of mine, but here I am as a seller going through it as well. Why do these envelopes from that box I showed you, and here's an example of one of them, be sitting outside where it belongs in front of my front door? We don't have a general drop-off area. The office used to do it until packages went missing, so they stopped doing that a long time ago. It's not the current management. It was the management when I first lived here many years ago, many moons ago. So they stopped accepting packages in the office, and for good reason, because they don't want to be held responsible for anything. And can you blame them? I get that it's 90-something degrees outside down here where I live, but there's no excuse why you cannot drive the packages directly to where they're supposed to go. Now you leave them out there unattended with nobody watching. Now you're going to have pirates come, postal pirates, come and scoop up them packages, and we get F'd in the A. So there's really not much I can do at this point. I just got to sit back and wait for these new labels to come, if they come. Those previous labels that I ordered may still come. I don't know. But this is what I got left. The post office is clearly hurting my sports card business at this point. And I'm sure they're hurting most of you. And again, I say allegedly, and in my opinion, this is a silent protest against President Trump. I hope he privatizes every last one of you. And I hope that when that happens, all of your antiquated equipment from the 70s and 80s also gets tossed out and replaced with something a little more modern. Stop ripping off our seniors, by the way. Get digital scales, real digital scales, modern ones. Charging old ladies and old men $15 to $20 for something that should cost only $8 or $9, in my opinion, allegedly. At least with my eBay business and with my USPS account, I get shipping discounts. And regardless and despite what that one woman in the Ballantyne post office was trying to argue against, well, I'm right, because I am the eBayer. I know the rules. I know how it works. Stay behind your desk. You know what that is? That's that arrogant union attitude. But their union sucks anyway. Thank God for mine. Mine always protected me. But at least they're not out there, trying to pull the wool over people's eyes and scam people out of their money and not provide the service that they're supposed to be providing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't tell, I'm exhausted. This has been a very long couple weeks for yours truly. I have all of those envelopes to get out. I got them 2 boxes I have to get out, and plus I got these 2 orders here. I think it's this is a 1990 Bo Jackson Mojo from Topps and Ken Griffey Jr. from Topps, also a Mojo 1990. So I'll get those packed up for you. Anybody that ordered stuff off of me, your stuff is going out today, guaranteed. But my faith in the post office is really dwindling, and I don't know what else I can do or what else I can say. I mean, obviously they're the gatekeepers. They're the ones that are holding all of us hostage. Me as a seller, they're holding hostage. And now as a buyer, trying to keep my business running, they are effing me in the A. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay cool. I know it's still hot in a lot of places here throughout the states. Check after the elderly and make sure the kids aren't burning up either. But on that note, I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. I will see you all very soon.